will you ever draw the line where you say it's too violent?
Yeah, there's of course we're going to draw the line.
Okay.
Certainly, yeah.
During the dreaded COVID outbreak, I fell in love with lore channels such as History Behind the Warrior and Marvelous Videos. They changed my appreciation for lore and fighting games, one being Mortal Kombat. Growing up playing these games, terribly may I just add, I never realised all it had to offer. I started my journey off on Mortal Kombat 2, and I just had my brother absolutely annihilate me at the earliest ages that I could hold a controller. I remember practicing for months, even asking my sister to go easy on me so I could learn the moves and become better than my older brother. One day I was actually able to beat him, and now he won't ever play with me ever again. Until I mentioned this video idea to him and reminded him of the time I froze his flaming soul and kicked his ass. Whoopsie! He now wants to challenge me live as we take on many retro fighting games, starting off with all the SNES Mortal Kombat games. Hehe, this is gonna be interesting. Enough about me, now let's get into the creation, history, and what the f*** actually happened to Mortal Kombat.
WCF, mate.
Welcome back everyone, it's Elwood here from Not So Serious Gaming. Today we're diving into what the f*** happened to Mortal Kombat. Before we plunge into the lore of this brutal franchise, I wanted to briefly cover the creation of the flawless fighting game that changed gaming history. Midway's breakthrough success came in 1978. Luckily licensing and distributing Tato's arcade game Space Invaders in America, this then led to them later distributing Pac-Man and much more. In 1982, Bally merged its pinball division with Midway, then just 2 years later Ed Boon joined just after he finished college. This is where he created his first ever video game, High Impact Football. He then worked on some classics such as Super High Impact and Total Carnage before him and John Tobias created the first ever Mortal Kombat. This game was originally thought of by John Tobias as he envisioned a ninja fighting game. Researching different fighting styles for Mortal Kombat, John actually came across a myth of the Lin Kuei, based in China. He then decided to add this into his game, thus was the birth of Sub-Zero and his clan. Midway had rejected this game though, as they wanted to create an action-packed game based on the upcoming movie Universal Soldier. They really wanted to include the film star Jean-Claude Van Damme in this, however he was too busy with other projects, so the team went back to Tobias' original idea. Just before the launch of Mortal Kombat, Midway had released Terminator 2 for the arcades, which proved to be very lucrative for Midway. This seemed to give the team a lot more freedom, as the higher ups left the 4-man team to complete what would become the biggest selling game for a short period of time. They completed the game within 6 to 10 months, and demo versions of the game were being played around the office. However, only having male characters and no name for the game, they were given a little bit more time to add Sonya Blade and figure out a name. There's 2 reasons to why it actually took them 6 months to decide on a name, and these are: Ed Boon's version is that Steve Ritchie, the game's voice announcer, was sitting in Boon's office. He saw the word combat on the board, and he turned around and said to him, "Why don't you name it Mortal Kombat?" Boon liked this, and it eventually stuck and became the name. However, John Tobias recalled it a bit differently, saying it came about during the trademark process in naming the game. He really liked Mortal Kombat but couldn't get it past legal. No matter what, I'm glad they managed to stick with this name, as the other suggestions that they had were just terrible. These were Kumite, Dragon Attack, Death Blow and Fatality. I just don't think any of these would have worked well at all. The concept of fatalities evolved from the dizzied mechanic that other fighting games would have. Boon really hated this mechanic, however he still wanted a fun way to end the fight. Boon and Tobias decided they wouldn't have the daze mechanic within their game, instead just having an encounter what can be triggered at the end of the fight, once the outcome had already been decided, welcoming the world to fatalities, which in my opinion is one of the greatest features that Mortal Kombat has, as well as the elemental characters and much more. This took the world by storm, especially news outlets. This was due to the violence that had been introduced to the game, as well as having realistic characters. This was because Tobias had called up local martial artists to become the characters in the game, and they were very passionate about working on Mortal Kombat, not having famous actors. This also aided Midway in giving them more freedom just to create whatever they envisioned. Due to the restricted colour palette, John Tobias, the game artist and co-creator, knew to keep the costumes for each character very limited just to one colour. Their costumes consisted of personal items and stuff they managed to purchase from fancy dress stores, resulting in the creation of the main iconic characters. I saw something in an interview about Baraka's mask, that it was actually just a mask from a shop and that they added fingernails to it to create some crazy teeth. All the characters were recorded with a high 8 camcorder that had been released by Sony and Canon in 1989. Converting a section of their warehouse where they built the pinball machines, they would create their first mini studio to film the characters' movesets. Then when implementing them into the game, they had to remove each background for each frame they had hand by hand. That must have been so tedious! However, their work definitely paid off, as looking back at these games, I just can't believe how amazing they look just for the time. They even used small wooden staircases to be able to capture some of the aerial attacks due to the motion blur making it impossible to be able to cut out the background of each frame. Ed Boon, the lead programmer and also the co-creator of Mortal Kombat, programmed a fast-paced game in order to keep the gameplay more fun and responsive. On the plus side, this would also reduce the overall memory footprint for the game. This left room to include screen shakes and sound effects to convey the power of your strikes, immersing you deep into the game. This graphical content then prompted the formation of the Entertainment Software Rating Board, ESRB. This is a US government-backed organisation that sets ratings for video games. When Mortal Kombat was converted over to consoles, the SNES release chose not to include the graphical content, although the Sega's version could, and you could enter a code unlocking all the gore, resulting in the game actually selling 3 times as much on the Sega than it did on the SNES. In 1993, Midway had pimped out their equipment, resulting in new software with chroma key functions. This helped them save a lot of time when it came to filming and editing their characters. However, they still had a few issues, so they would settle on a grey background, which resulted in a cleaner, more polished looking game. Not just the visuals had improved, but the audio had also. Now able to implement actual guitar sounds and other instrumental sounds, including the iconic To help grow the roster, the team scoured arcades in order to check their most played characters from their first release, to help understand what the players liked. Using their new and fancy equipment, they were able to boost the roster to 12 playable characters, and it would only grow from there. As well as their team, now including the talented Tony Goski. He helped create some of the iconic battle stages that we all enjoyed growing up, using a mixture of pixel art and digitalised images and textures. To further our enjoyment, friendships and babalities were also added to spice things up a little bit, especially for those players who had seen enough bloodshed for one day. They continued to use this art style until the release of Mortal Kombat 4, where they would replace it with motion capture, replacing the realistic but pixelated characters with characters created within the digital realm. This game was the first to equip its characters with weapons, and the gameplay allowed you to even sidestep. This was revolutionary. Tobias, during the creation of Mortal Kombat Special Forces, along with other Midway staff, left Midway in 1999. They went off to go form their own studio, Gigante, in 2000. This is because they didn't like the way Mortal Kombat was going, and that they wanted to give it a bit more of a story mode. Due to this left the game with a lot of cut features, such as Sonya Blade being a playable character, or not being one, shall I say. Midway Games filed for a Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the United States on February 12, 2009. Warner Brothers was quick on swooping in and gobbling up all the assets that belonged to them, including Mortal Kombat. In 2011, Ed Boon was given the opportunity to create a daughter company called NetherRealm Studios under the wings of Warner Brothers. And thank God this happened, as they were able to continue to entertain the masses till this day. So now we're all pretty much caught up on the creation of Mortal Kombat, let's go and take a look into the lore that many of us have fallen in love with. The lore of Mortal Kombat. While Mortal Kombat is mainly known as a realistic, fast-paced gore fest, shocking the world with its insane fatalities, underneath the flames of NetherRealm lies a story filled with loss, chaos, betrayal, and a sliver of hope as the heroes fight to save the world. The story of Mortal Kombat begins before the events of the very first game, long before the birth of our hero. There were only 2 entities in the entire universe, the One Being and the Elder Gods. The One Being is the most powerful and deadly entity in the entire universe, feeding on the essence of the Elder Gods to harness almost ultimate power. This weakened them, and they knew they had to stop the One Being to get their freedom. The Elder Gods created 6 powerful weapons called the Kamidoku. Using all their might, they tore him apart into 6 pieces. With the power of the Kamidoku, they fused these 6 pieces of consciousness with each weapon, eventually becoming the realms of Mortal Kombat: NetherRealm, Chaos Realm, Outworld, Edenia, Earth Realm, and the Order Realm. The One Being's consciousness influenced the rulers of each realm into merging their realms together in order to restore the One Being to his true form. However, if this ever happened, it could risk the collapse of the entire universe. Order among the realms was needed, so the Elder Gods stepped in to create a martial arts tournament that would determine their fates. Any realm determined to conquer another realm in order to merge it would need to win 10 consecutive Mortal Kombat tournaments. The competition would be held every 50 years. What, now thinking about, would make everyone really super old. Unfortunately, NetherRealm had missed out on the memo and attacked Outworld, which easily crushed its invasion thanks to its leader, the Dragon King Onaga. Thirsty for blood, Outworld started invading much smaller realms in order to get stronger. Shao Kahn, an advisor of Onaga, poisoned him to seize the throne of Outworld. Now a powerful emperor, Shao Kahn initiates the first ever Mortal Kombat tournament. He sets his sights on Edenia, which is a beautiful and luscious realm, but no match for Outworld, as they decimate them and win 10 consecutive Mortal Kombat tournaments and are able to merge with Edenia. This would never be enough. The greedy emperor placed Earthrealm within his crosshairs. The sorcerer Shang Tsung organises a Mortal Kombat tournament so that Outworld can win the right to merge with Earthrealm. Goro, Outworld's strongest warrior, wins 9 tournaments in a row. Earthrealm is on the brink of collapse, as surely if Outworld won, they wouldn't survive the invasion. This is where the player's journey begins. Earthrealm's final stand is now, and you're its last hope in order to prevent its invasion. In its first ever The first ever Mortal Kombat game was released in 1992 on arcade machines. Shang Tsung is hosting the final competition. Raiden calls upon Earthrealm's toughest warriors, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade. Together they will take on 4 fighters that represent Outworld: Goro, Kano, Scorpion and a mysterious assassin from the Lin Kuei, Sub-Zero. However, not everything is what it seems. While the intentions of the Earthrealm heroes are pretty clear.
Save the cheerleader, save the world!
All the Outworld fighters have different agendas. Yes, they want to conquer Earthrealm, but with a little twist. Sub-Zero, the coolest assassin from the Lin Kuei, was paid a large bounty to kill Shang Tsung during the tournament. Scorpion is a ninja that has been resurrected, who believes Sub-Zero is the one who killed him. Hearing of Sub-Zero's entry in the tournament, he offers to join Outworld to claim justice in the form of murder. Kano, the half-man, half-cyborg scumbag that would sell his own mother for a night at the strip club. Hearing rumours that Shang Tsung's palace is filled with gold, his only intention is to loot what he can. He didn't care much about the tournament, he just planned to loot what he could and escape with the treasure. Goro didn't really have a twist. Being a winner of 9 competitions, his only goal was to reign victorious so Outworld could merge with Earthrealm. After a brutal tournament, everything works out in the end as Liu Kang becomes the new champion of Mortal Kombat. As well as this, Scorpion gets his revenge, seemingly killing Sub-Zero, sending his soul to the Netherrealm. Goro just happens to disappear after the tournament like a yellow belly and is believed to be dead. Shao Kahn is outraged at the events and is ready to punish Shang Tsung for his failings. Shang Tsung begs for his life, suggesting that they lure Earthrealm's warriors to Outworld for another tournament, suggesting that at the end Shao Kahn can kill the warriors that are left himself. Mortal Kombat 2. Limited to 12 characters, some were dropped and 7 new characters were introduced. Kung Lao, Baraka, Jax Briggs, Shang Tsung, Katana and Mileena. Returning to the tournament was Liu Kang, Raiden, Johnny Cage and Scorpion. Despite dying in the hands of Scorpion during the previous Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero also returns. Now it's time for the lore to get real juicy. Bi-Han, the original Sub-Zero, did perish. However, this returning Sub-Zero is actually Kuei Liang, the younger brother of Bi-Han. Not actually here to seek revenge, but in order to finish his brother's job in killing Shang Tsung. Scorpion secretly swears to protect him in retribution for slaying his brother, as he realised Bi-Han wasn't actually the one who killed him. Katana was the princess from Edenia. You know, the place Shang Tsung took control of? He placed Katana under a spell to make him his loyal daughter and assassin. Then using Shang Tsung's magic, he created Mileena in her image. Realising the truth, Katana teams up with the Earthrealm warriors to help them defeat the Outworld fighters. Katana finds out about her twin's plan on trying to defeat her, resulting in Mileena's death. Once again, Liu Kang wins the tournament, defeating Shao Kahn and his troops. Is this the end of the Outworld Emperor? Mortal Kombat 3. Releasing in 1995, things are looking bad for Earthrealm, as Shao Kahn enacts a 10-year-old plan, in which he uses his Shadow Priest led by Shang Tsung to revive Queen Sindel, the former ruler of Edenia, who Kahn forces to become his wife before she eventually removes herself from this mortal plane. Shao Kahn decides to revive Sindel on Earthrealm. giving him a reason to go back and claim her. As a result of this, Shao Kahn opens up a dimensional portal between the two realms, slowly turning Earthrealm into a part of Outworld. Through this portal, Shao Kahn gains billions of souls of humans. Luckily, Raiden saves the day by collecting a few souls from this assault, and the souls he collected would be the warriors in the upcoming Mortal Kombat tournament. This doesn't bode well with Shao Kahn, and sends an extermination squad to kill him in an attempt to prevent the warriors from winning yet another Mortal Kombat tournament. One of the squads, led by a centaur called Maruto, kills Johnny Cage. However, his soul was protected by Raiden, leading him being chosen to fight against Khan's invasion. Jax frees Sonya and they both join Earthrealm's resistance while Kano flees and joins Shao Kahn's forces. Kano's former Black Dragon partner called Kabul decides to join the rebellion as he learns Kano is free. Wanting to get revenge on Kano, as he's the one responsible for the accident that led him to be dependent on the respirator. Hoping to save Earthrealm and Edenia, Liu Kang leads the rebellion against Outworld's Emperor. However, this just was not enough. Thankfully, a Native American shaman called Nightwolf joins the rebellion, after he sees visions that warn him about the invasion of Earthrealm. New York City was destroyed, but one man survived, Stryker. Raiden saved his soul and he joined the other Earthrealm warriors. Whilst during all of this, deep in the heart of Netherrealm lay a lost soul that became corrupted, transforming into a demonic version of his previous self, called Noob Saibot. This was a dude formerly known as Bi-Han, the original Sub-Zero. You know, that cool blue ninja that was consumed by Scorpion's hellfire? That dude! Meanwhile, the Lin Kuei had stepped up a notch, using the latest advancements in human technology so they could pimp out their warriors into soulless machines. That's pretty nice of them. The higher-ups in the Lin Kuei chose 4 unwilling ninjas to serve as the first prototypes: Cyrax, Sector, Smoke, and Sub-Zero. Smoke and Sub-Zero refused and left the clan. Unfortunately, Smoke was captured and turned into one of these soulless machines, leaving Sub-Zero alone and hunted by his fellow ninjas, as now they were programmed to hunt down and kill the new Sub-Zero. Seeing the rebellion as a means to escape his capture, he joined them against Shao Kahn. This is why Scorpion also sides with the Earthrealm warriors in order to protect Sub-Zero. Shao Kahn's goal is to protect Queen Sindel at all costs. He even sends Shiva to protect her. This leads her to joining up in the Mortal Kombat tournament. However, Shiva doesn't fully trust Shao Kahn, so devises a plan to betray him. No surprise, Shao Kahn and his forces fail, as Raiden and his champion Liu Kang, with the help of the rebellion, decimates Outworld's forces and stop the invasion, saving Earthrealm and freeing Edenia from Shao Kahn's control. Kitana finally frees her mother Sindel from Shao Kahn's grasp, so she can finally take her place on Edenia's throne, vowing to rebuild and do what it takes to make Shao Kahn pay for his crimes. Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. In 1997, the new game Mortal Kombat Mythologies was released, diving deep into the lore of the events of what happened before the previous games, and just wowing everyone with their new platformer style gameplay. And I'm not gonna lie, I never actually played this until now, and I freaking love it. Let's just see if I complete it before the new installment comes out. Oh wait, I'm probably gonna end up finishing the video around that time. Oh well. Within this game, we follow Sub-Zero on his mission as he's hired by Quan Chi, a powerful sorcerer, to obtain a map leading to a mysterious amulet. Doubting Sub-Zero's abilities, Quan Chi also hires Scorpion. Sub-Zero kills Scorpion in order to retrieve the map and give it to Quan Chi. Quan Chi then rewards Sub-Zero by wiping out Scorpion's clan. Sub-Zero is then tasked to follow a map to the Temple of Elements, so he can retrieve Quan Chi's precious amulet. As he carefully makes his way to the amulet, Quan Chi appears, taking it and revealing his true intentions. Now wielding the source of power from the fallen elder god named Shinnok, he explains his plan to resurrect the destroyer of realms, Shinnok himself, and then disappears. The wrath of the gods was soon upon Sub-Zero, as Raiden appeared explaining the repercussions of his actions. This could actually lead to the end of the world. Now Sub-Zero was humanity's only hope, and set straight off to the Netherrealm. Forced to have many battles in his way to Quan Chi, he reveals that his soul was tainted with evil, and that's the only reason why he was sent here, as only evil souls can survive within the Netherrealm. During this, he comes across and spares Serena, a demon from Netherrealm assigned by Quan Chi to kill him. This resulted in her assisting him and defeating Quan Chi, but suddenly she is killed by Shinnok by a cheap shot in the back. However, eventually Sub-Zero reigns victorious and returns the amulet to Raiden. Mortal Kombat 4. Two things were released in 1997, Mortal Kombat 4 and the Elder God Shinnok, as somehow he managed to escape the Netherrealm with the help of Quan Chi, and is now seeking revenge against the Elder Gods. Edenia gets picked on again as Shinnok targets their beautiful realm first. Tanya convinces Queen Sindel to welcome Shinnok and all of his highest generals into their realm as refugees. Without hesitation, the fallen Elder God launches a full-scale invasion of their realm and captures Queen Sindel and her daughter, Princess Katana. Fasten your seatbelts as the Destroyer of Realms didn't stop there, attacking the heavens and killing 3 of the 4 elemental gods. Only Fujin, the god of wind, who is also Raiden's younger brother, manages to escape, with the aid of the Shaolin monks Liu Kang and Kai. Enraged, Raiden summons Earthrealm's greatest warriors to defeat Shinnok's warriors. Shinnok and Liu Kang battle it out, but eventually the Mortal Kombat champion wins the fight. Raiden then banishes Shinnok back to the Netherrealm, ending his killing spree and bringing peace back to all the realms. Raiden gets a promotion to Elder God, resulting in his position of Earthrealm's protector being passed down to his brother Fujin. Yay! Everyone celebrates, the world is saved, and Katana and Liu Kang get jiggy with it whilst everyone returns to their regular lives.
Meant between us.
Whoever said anything about there being an us?
She's hot. And she picks Liu Kang over me? What's wrong with this picture? Maybe I have time to find that clone of her somebody mentioned. She's hot.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows for Scorpion though, as he finds out Quan Chi is responsible for the death of his family, so he tortures the sorcerer in the depths of the Netherrealm. Mortal Kombat Special Forces. This might have been released in the year 2000, but the lore within this game was based even before the events of Sub-Zero's Mythologies. This installment of Mortal Kombat follows the adventures of Jack Briggs as he chases after Kano and his Black Dragon criminal organisation. As Kano manages to free his gang from prison in order to try and get his hands on the Eye of Chitin, Jax wasn't having any of this and easily defeats Kano and discovers that the Eye harnesses the ability to open portals between realms, as he teleports himself and Kano back to Earthrealm. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. In 2002, the story takes an unlikely twist as 2 powerful beings unite in a deadly alliance. While Scorpion is torturing Quan Chi in the Netherrealm, the sorcerer manages to escape using the Amulet of Shinnok. Quan Chi actually pretended to give Shinnok's amulet back after retrieving it from the Temple of Elements, only to give them a replica. Quan Chi then stumbles across a tomb filled with the mummified remains of a Naga and the Dragon King's army. You know, the dude that I mentioned that Shao Kahn betrayed by poisoning him? Making a deal with Shang Tsung, Quan Chi would be able to acquire the endless source of souls to give birth to the Dragon King's army in order to become immortal himself. Shang Tsung accepts the offer, and nothing seems to be able to stop this deadly alliance. Knowing only 2 people stood in their way of ultimate power, without hesitation Quan Chi and Shang Tsung betray Shao Kahn, executing him, then swiftly took out Liu Kang by snapping his neck. They would later learn that they only killed one of Kahn's clones, but that doesn't impact their plans for now. Outraged by these events and the fall of his champion, Raiden pleads with the Elder Gods to intervene. No surprise, they refuse. Unaccepting of their decision, Raiden revokes his Elder God status and returns to Earthrealm to gather the heroes once again to face the Deadly Alliance. Jax, Johnny Cage, Kung Lao, Sonya Blade and Katana all die in battle. Mortal Kombat Deception. Deception, released in 2004, continues straight after the deadly duo revives the Dragon King's army. Raiden, the all-powerful Thunder God, falls to the power of the Deadly Alliance. However, they didn't kill him just yet. The Deadly Alliance wasn't destined to last long, as the pair turn on one another, with Shang Tsung stealing Shinnok's amulet from Quan Chi. Fighting to take control of the undead army, they realise that Onaga, the Dragon King himself, has returned. The 3 men team up in fear of Onaga. However, they're no match for him, so Raiden sums up all his power and then explodes in a nuclear EMP bomb, killing the 2 sorcerers, as well as disintegrating himself as he is reformed and angrier than ever on Earthrealm. Onaga brushes it off as if it was nothing and starts on his own mission.
'Tis but a scratch. A scratch? Your arm's off! No, it isn't.
He started his mission decepting this game's protagonist, Shin Jinku, into collecting the Kamidoku for him, as he secretly wished to merge all the realms. Shin Jinku had spent decades collecting them and became one of the most powerful warriors of all time. Foolishly, Onaga granted him an immense power to aid him on his quest, the ability to copy other powers of anyone he fights, as this power would later bite him in the butt. Shinnok's amulet is the final piece of the puzzle, being the last Kamidoku that is needed to complete his mission until now. The Thunder God Raiden reconstructed himself back on Earthrealm, but his essence is tainted by Onaga's evil, turning him into Dark Raiden. Furious with the people of Earthrealm and how they had treated their own realm, he became a ruthless version of himself, ready to crush anyone who threatened his homeland. Raiden's explosion placed Shinnok's amulet right in the hands of Onaga, so he travelled back to Outworld to resume his throne. This is where he prepares to merge the 6 Kamidoku into one, creating the ultimate weapon that could reshape all the realms. Shinjinku, swearing to get revenge on the Dragon King for his deception, gathers some of the best warriors of all the realms. He absorbs all their powers. Pack-a-Punch and ready, he manages to shatter the Kamidoku and destroy the Dragon King, allowing Nightwolf to use his ancestral knowledge to trap Naga's soul in the Netherrealm. During these events, the outraged Raiden digs up and resurrects the fallen Liu Kang into a zombie-killing machine that goes on some sort of rampage. Whilst mentioning zombies, Naga resurrects a bunch of fallen heroes such as Katana, as Melina has disguised herself as her sister after her death. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. In 2005, Midway released another spin-off after the events of the first Mortal Kombat game. Several fights break out with Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage and Sub-Zero on one side and Kano, Reptile and Scorpion on the other. Everything is kicking off as a massive brawl begins. Liu Kang faces Shang Tsung, who tries to consume his soul. Thankfully, Kung Lao comes to save his cousin and then fights against Baraka. Goro comes crashing in, ready to fight anyone. Fearing for his life, Shang Tsung creates a portal to escape as his palace starts to crumble. Him and his warriors retreat to Outworld, and the heroes manage to retreat to the Wu Shi Academy. However, they're soon under siege by Baraka and his forces. Fighting off the invading force was a success, although at the cost of Sonya's capture. This is added to show why Sonya wasn't in Mortal Kombat 2. This lured Liu Kang and his allies to Outworld to defeat them in the events of Mortal Kombat 2. Liu Kang and Kung Lao travelled to Outworld and saved Sonya with the help of Raiden and Johnny Cage. They discovered that the mastermind behind all of this was led by the Emperor of Outworld, Shao Kahn, as he wanted to take control of Earthrealm. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. Released in 2006, you see the warriors threatening to destroy the fabric of the entire universe. During all the previous Mortal Kombat tournaments, the fighters became so strong that their powers could rip apart reality, bringing to the end of the world. A powerful sorceress from Edenia called Queen Delia foresaw the long before events of the tournaments that would lead to an Armageddon. Together with her husband Argus, whom they are both elder gods, prepared a plan to prevent this, inducing their sons Taven and Dagon into a deep hibernation until the time comes to save the world from the Armageddon. Blaze, a blazing humanoid beast, was created by Delia, so one of her sons could destroy it, preventing the end of the world. A pyramid raises from the ground and Blaze, the elemental, appears on top of it to restore balance in the universe by destroying as many warriors as he can. He beckons them, causing the bloodthirsty warriors to go mad over the thought of fighting him. As they charge up the pyramid, they battle anyone in their path to reach him. Taven and Dagon could easily team up and defeat Blaze, saving the realms, although they turn on one another as they discover a message from their father revealing that whoever slays the blazing beast will take the father's place and become a powerful elder god. The power-hungry Dagon is defeated by Tavon. Finding out that his brother had slaughtered his parents, he knew he had nothing left to do apart from completing his quest and defeating Blaze. His death will either destroy all the warriors or strip them from their powers and abilities. Unwilling to kill them, he's hesitant, however he knows what must be done. However, this entire game is proven not to be canon, as the next Mortal Kombat dismisses this as an entire story arc. Well, not the next one, because the next one's actually Mortal Kombat vs DC Universe. In 2008, Midway Games released what to this day is my favourite game that they have ever made. Well, to be honest, I think this new Mortal Kombat might just beat it, but we shall wait and see. This spin-off is honestly amazing, bringing both games' heroes and villains together for one of the ultimate battles of the universe. Fusing Darkseid and Shao Kahn into the ultimate boss, Dark Khan, was just a great take, and I wish there had been more of these crossovers. Unfortunately, during my research, I found out we won't ever see one of these beloved crossovers ever again. And if you guys want to know why, let me know down below and I'll do a what the fuck happened to Mortal Kombat vs DC Universe. Mortal Kombat, created in 2011. Shao Kahn is back after deceiving the Deadly Alliance into killing one of his clones. He sets his sights on killing Blaze to seize his power, and for once, he actually succeeds in something. Raiden tries to stop him, but the Outworld Emperor is far too powerful. Using the remains of his shattered amulet, he sends a message through time to his past self, just moments before Shao Kahn can deliver the finishing blow.
He must win.
Raiden's message through time creates a ripple effect, resetting the timeline. This new game covers everything that happens in the first trilogy, so all the lore we know up to now doesn't really exist anymore. The Earthrealm heroes are teaming up to prevent Goro from winning the 10th Mortal Kombat victory for Outworld in a row. Raiden suddenly receives the message from his future self. He must win. But who should? And why? Raiden and myself are very confused by this message. Raiden is filled with the knowledge of everything that will happen over the next few decades, including the end of the world. However, the events all play out in a similar fashion. Sub-Zero is still murdered by his nemesis Scorpion, and the champion Liu Kang wins the tournament. Things aren't looking good though, as Raiden notices that his amulet has taken even more damage. So during the events of Mortal Kombat 2, Raiden knows that he must do something this time. He prevents Smoke from being turned into a soulless machine by the Lin Kuei, only for Kuai Liang, the younger brother of the original Sub-Zero, to be captured and turned into a cybernetic ninja instead. Feeling this isn't enough, he also subs in Kung Lao for Liu Kang to take on Shang Tsung. This kinda goes well, as yes, he may be victorious in the Mortal Kombat tournament, but Shao Kahn sneaks up behind the monk, breaking his neck similar to how Liu Kang died in the previous timeline. Liu Kang loses it, almost killing the Khan, but still, the timeline has not been fixed, as more damage has occurred to the amulet. Shao Kahn and Quan Chi have formed their own deadly alliance, with Quan Chi saving the Khan and resurrecting Sindel earlier than the previous timeline. Without hesitation, Shao Kahn invades the Earth realm. Raiden tries various strategies to prevent Armageddon, even going to the Elder Gods for help, but they won't intervene as they're not trying to merge the realms together and therefore are not breaking the rules of Mortal Kombat. During this, Sindel launches a devastating rampage, absolutely destroying the heroes, including her own daughter. With no choice, Nightwolf sacrifices himself to kill Sindel and stopping her killing spree. After all this bloodshed, Raiden finally understands what his future self meant by he must win.
Shao Kahn must win.
Mourning the death of his friends, Liu Kang is enraged and blames Raiden for their deaths. Ignoring his master's order, he proceeds to take out Shao Kahn alone. The Thunder God tries to stop Liu Kang but accidentally kills him. Whoopsie! Raiden instantly surrenders to Shao Kahn, allowing him to merge the two realms. Finally, the Elder Gods show up. Outworld never won 10 consecutive Mortal Kombat tournaments, breaking the sacred rule. The Elder Gods possess Raiden's body, granting him the power of the Elder Gods, and together they blap Shao Kahn out of existence. Once again, Earthrealm returns to normal, minus those that fell in battle. Rip them. As Raiden vows to rebuild his realm, there's one plot twist left. Quan Chi has been working under the orders of Shinnok this entire time. Dun dun dun! Mortal Kombat 10. Released in 2015, Quan Chi and Shinnok put their plans into action. The sorcerer uses the souls of those who died during Earthrealm's invasion to create the powerful undead army. Using this, Shinnok attacks Earthrealm, leading Raiden, Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade and the other fighters against the demons and revenants of their fallen warriors. Shinnok, the fallen Elder God, is about to deal with devastating fatality on Sonya. Johnny, without a second thought, wants to save the damsel in distress and win her heart and throws himself in front of her, awakening his ancient powers. This gives him enough time to distract him until Raiden imprisons Shinnok inside his own amulet. Quan Chi, being a massive coward, retreats to the Netherrealm. However, the heroes make chase. After arriving at his lair, they're able to restore Scorpion, Sub-Zero and the others. Unfortunately, the yellow-bellied Quan Chi escapes once again. Life goes back to normal for the realm and 20 years pass. Johnny and Sonya marry and have a daughter. Sub-Zero kills Sector and becomes a new Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei. Scorpion and Sub-Zero settle their difference as they realise the truth between the events that happened to his family, and Scorpion goes on to rebuild his clan while mentoring Kenshi's son, Takeda. Ooh, Takeda! After 2 decades of peace, Johnny assembles a team of young fighters, composed of his and Sonya's daughter Cassie, Takeda, Jack's daughter Jackie, and Kung Lao's nephew, Kung Jin, to go to Outworld to restore the civil war between Mileena and Kotal Khan. Shinnok's amulet ends up in Kotal Khan's possession. However, it doesn't stay safe for long, as Kotal's second-in-command, Devora, appears to be a double agent, working with Quan Chi and steals the amulet. Cassie and the team escape and warn the other Earthrealm fighters of Devora's intentions. Scorpion has a score to settle with Quan Chi. Just as he's about to decapitate him, Devora appears with Shinnok's amulet. Quan Chi manages to catch it and casts a spell to release Shinnok from captivity. This doesn't save him from Scorpion's rage though, as he cuts off his head. Shinnok and Devora then go on to capture Johnny and then launch an attack in the Sky Temple. Shinnok enters the Ginseng to corrupt Earthrealm's life force, transforming himself into a powerful demon. Cassie unleashes her ancient powers, similar to her father's, to save him and defeat Shinnok, allowing Raiden to strip the fallen Elder God of his powers once more and purify the Ginseng. Unaware to Raiden, the Ginseng was corrupted by Shinnok's dark essence, resulting in him becoming corrupted and still turning into the Dark Raiden, just like the original timeline. Mortal Kombat 11. In 2009, the next installment kicks off with a fatality. Raiden tortures and decapitates Chinook, swearing to take down anyone who causes harm to Earthrealm. Once again, full of blind rage, he plans on warning the Revenants Liu Kang and Kitana, who now rule Netherrealm, that if they ever threaten Earthrealm, they will face fates worse than death, and plans to gift them the head of Chinook. Mortal Kombat 11 continues this story, introducing Titans for the first time, beings that are far more powerful than Elder Gods, Kronika, the Keeper of Time, and the Mother of Chinook. Upon learning Dark Raiden beheaded her son, Kronika wants to rewrite history and erase Raiden's existence as she believes he's disrupting balance between forces of good and evil. 2 years later, Cassie gets a promotion for her war efforts in the previous Mortal Kombat tournament, as Jax retires taking his place. Raiden travels to see them, warning that Liu Kang and Kitana are planning to invade Earthrealm. He convinces the Special Forces to strike first, launching an assault on Netherrealm that they would never expect. Using himself as bait, Raiden creates a diversion to allow the team to enter the cathedral and defeat the Outworld forces led by Jade and Kabul. Liu Kang isn't silly. Knowing all of Raiden's tricks, he could clearly see this was just a diversion, and with Kitana, they ambushed the Special Forces, beating down Jackie, causing some of the structure to cave in, trapping Sonya. Cassie gives Liu Kang a beating of a lifetime.
Fuck you.
Sonya blows herself up and destroys the cathedral to save her daughter and the others. Kronika appears before the Revenants Liu Kang and Kitana, showing her immense power, restoring the destroyed kingdom. She did this in order to request alliance from the rulers of Netherrealm. Her plan is to restart history, creating an entire new era rid of Dark Raiden's presence. Liu Kang and Kitana happily accept to team up with the Titaness, hoping to protect their realm from Dark Raiden's wrath, and even her own. Kronika begins to reverse time, wiping Raiden from existence, leaving behind Chinook's amulet and returning the younger warriors from previous timelines, tripping everyone out on board. Meanwhile, Kotal Khan is about to execute the Collector, then a massive time storm interrupts him, bringing Scarlet, Aaron Black, Baraka, as well as a younger version of Kano. Ha, he looks funny bald. Oh, and how could I forget Shao Kahn. Other heroes also return, such as Liu Kang, Kitana, Kung Lao, Jade, and Good Raiden. After this quick discussion, Kotal and Raiden realised that they were teleported 27 years into the future, and that they had come from the timeline that Kung Lao defeated Shang Tsung during the second Mortal Kombat. Shao Kahn was not happy that Kotal Khan was the ruler, and attacked him with his forces to reclaim Outworld's throne. Kotal defeated Shao Kahn and his allies, however they were saved by Devora, leaving Raiden and Kotal to unite forces. Meanwhile, Devora had actually brought Shao Kahn and his forces to a hive so Kronika could recruit them. Later, back on Earthrealm, the young heroes returned to find out about their future selves. Liu Kang and Kung Lao are discussing how they died under the protection of Raiden as they approach the Wuxi Academy and come across hundreds of slaughtered monks. Suddenly the two are trapped by Scorpion, as it turns out Kronika promised the restored Scorpion that he would revive his fallen clan and family. They almost died due to gas, but are saved by Scorpion and Jade, as killing them would kill their future selves. This gives them an advantage, allowing them to defeat Scorpion and Jade. Meanwhile, Raiden goes to the heavens to meet with the Elder Gods to ask for their assistance stopping Kronika. All he learns is that he must find Kronika's keep so he can gain control of the Hourglass. So pretty much the Elder Gods are useless once again. Liu Kang and Kung Lao defeat their future counterparts, and try to defeat Geras, although he's a fixed point in time and grows stronger after each death, making him pretty much unkillable. He freezes the two in time and makes his escape, as he's unable to kill them as it would affect their future Revenant counterparts. Sub-Zero and Scorpion team up for my favourite part in the series. Together they infiltrate Dr. Frost and the original Sub-Zero noob cyborg, whilst they're building a cyborg army for Kronika. Cyrax is also resurrected from the past and is still loyal to the cyber Lin Kuei, until Hanzo and Sub-Zero defeat him, freeing Cyrax from the influence and destroying the facility. Frost, Noob and Sector retreat back to Kronika's lair. Geras asks Kano if he can fix and replicate Sector. Before he answers, he meets up with his future self, whilst Kronika goes and recruits future Jax. Raiden, Kotal, Jade and Kitana are looking for a way to stop Shao Kahn from reclaiming the Outworld throne. Jade defeats her Revenant self and Devora before having a run for her life from the Tarkatan forces. The Collector jokingly steps in her way as she one-punches him to the side. Then, out of nowhere, she betrays Kotal Khan. Raiden returns to the Elder Gods to seek more advice, to then be granted by Cetrion. However, the other Elder Gods have all fallen by her hand. It turns out she's Chinook's sister and Kronika's daughter, and blames Raiden for all of this. After having a little chinwag, she leaves him twiddling his thumbs. Aaron Black, Kano and co. storm the special forces to capture Sonya. As they retreat, Johnny chases him down in a tank and punches Kano in the balls. However, this just isn't enough, as the younger Johnny and Sonya are captured and the restored Cable collects younger Kano. Liu Kang and Kung Lao join Katana to save Kotal Kahn after defeating Baraka and the others. Katana makes a deal with Baraka. Due to this, Shiva is also willing to help overthrow Shao Kahn. Just before Kotal is executed, the heroes arrive just in the nick of time and stop this. Just for him to take on Shao Kahn and have his back obliterated upon his knee. Katana defeats Shao Kahn, blinding him, and then is appointed as the new Empress of Outworld. Testing her might, Cassie Cage along with a small squad storms Kano's underground fighting ring to save her parents. After defeating Kano, she retreats back to the street where more fighting breaks out. Then Kano makes a massive mistake.
For reminding me of the rules.
Garrus isn't too pleased with this, taking out many special forces to stop the heroes, but they prevail as they manage to pin him to the wall and then blow him to smithereens, which lasted for the time it took him to hug. Jackie and her baby daddy travel to Shang Tsung's abandoned island where the first Mortal Kombat game took place. They need to retrieve the Crown of Souls, a powerful artifact that will enhance Chronicle powers if she should find it. Of course, they're not the only ones trying to find the crown. Kabul and Jade, as well as Noob Saibot, are no match for the father and daughter duo. The only hero to join Kronika without becoming a Revenant has shown up, the present day Jax. He's appeared so we can collect the crown and stop them. He has made a deal with Kronika to protect Jackie by beating her up. The younger Jax knocks out his older self and proceeds to escape the island with the Crown of Souls. Jackie cannot leave her father, so the three of them begin to leave when they are stopped by Cetrion. After this battle, Cetrion almost kills Jackie, leaving Jax with no choice but to give her the crown. Karen is being tortured by Devora and refuses to join Kronika's side. Hanzo needs his help as he's the only one who can grant them access to Kronika's keep. So he defeats Devora and his younger self. Whilst convincing his younger self to join him, Devora poisons him. Distracted by this, she doesn't notice the younger Scorpion come up behind her and attack her, but she quickly escapes. Hanzo then dies in his younger version's arms as he agrees to help the heroes and take his place. Scorpion returns to assist the heroes, however they won't listen to him. Even after many battles, Raiden isn't convinced and attacks him with Chinook's amulet. The darkness once again begins to take control. Liu Kang tries to talk him down, but Raiden blasts him out the way. For the third time in the Mortal Kombat story, Raiden is filled with rage and demanded obedience from Liu Kang. Raiden snaps back into reality as he begins to have memories of fragmented timelines where they both had already fought this battle time and time again. Remembering Liu Kang always dies as the outcome, he drops the amulet and returns to normal to tell all the others what he had discovered. Kronika arrived, revealing more of her plans. She wanted them to fight because their combined strength is the only thing that could stop her from creating a new era. So in order to prevent their team up, she freezes time and captures Liu Kang. Travelling across the blood seas of Netherrealm, the heroes are ambushed by Garrus and Frost. However, they're no match for Raiden, as he makes light work of them, disabling all the cyborgs. The older Jax was with them too, and realised the error in his ways, reuniting with Raiden and the heroes. Revenant Liu Kang absorbs his past self's soul, then ascends to fight Lord Raiden aboard his ship upon the Blood Sea. Refusing to allow Kronika's plans to prevail, Raiden fuses himself with Liu Kang, purging his corruption, becoming the powerful Fire Thunder God Liu Kang with the memory and knowledge of his relevant self, as well as Raiden's. The Fire God Liu Kang now knows everything about Kronika's plans, and the Fire God Liu Kang now knows everything about Kronika's plans and the location of her hideout. The Earthrealm and Outworld warriors lay siege upon Kronika's keep, slaughtering everything in their paths. Ready to lay waste to Kronika and her goons, the heroes are taken back, quite literally, as Kronika starts reversing time to save herself. Everyone is affected, apart from the Thunder and Fire God. Feeling hopeless without his friends, he gets thrown around by the Revenants until Raiden pipes up with some words of wisdom.
You can do it!
This fuels his fire and sparks passion back into Liu Kang, helping him easily defeat his foes. Kronika doesn't plan on going down so easily. She orders her own daughter to give up her essence, becoming even more powerful. She even smirks while doing so. Turning back time to erase all the realms and beginning her new era, they are taken back to when the world only just begun to begin their battle there. Fire God Liu Kang defeats Kronika, shattering her and the crown into a million pieces. Raiden kinda appears out of nowhere, explaining how he must reshape time. However, he sees fit. This sets up for the final chapter, Aftermath. Thunder and Fire God Liu Kang with Raiden attempt to use the hourglass to restore history. However, they are interrupted by Shang Tsung, Fujin and Nightwolf, whom were hidden in the void. They explain that Fire God Liu Kang cannot use the hourglass without Kronika's clown, or else he would destroy time instead of fixing it. He couldn't just go get it though, as he shattered it along with Kronika in her dreams. Despite their lack of trust towards Shang Tsung, Raiden and Liu Kang agreed to send him with Fujin and Nightwolf back in time to retrieve the crown. Knowing Shang Tsung is powerless against Sechuan, he convinces the others to resurrect Sindel, so she can take care of her as she has no ties with Kronika. Shang Tsung and Fujin deliver the crown to Raiden and Liu Kang. Fujin and Raiden battle as no one trusts that Shang Tsung is here, revealing that their plans are to steal Kronika's crown and bring it to them. Although Kronika's pissed off at all of this, before long she appears, freezing everyone in time except Raiden, Shang Tsung and Fujin. She explains how the crown was Shang Tsung's design, and that he will eventually betray the Earthrealm warriors. They simply reply, if he does, we'll destroy him. Sindel reunites with her lover Shao Kahn, as when she was resurrected, she didn't have her memory restored. Garrus asks Sindel and Shao Kahn to join Kronika's crew, but they refuse, and go on a mass slaughtering spree in order to seize power of the crown themselves. Sindel defeats Katana and Shao Kahn takes down Liu Kang. With no choice, Raiden asks Fujin to give him the crown. His brother obliges, but soon realises Shao Tsung was impersonating him. Feeling like his power is on par with Kronika, he takes down the remaining heroes. He drains everyone's strength and becomes even more powerful. Even his old allies Sindel and Shao Kahn have their souls drained. He then confronts Kronika and easily defeats her and absorbs her soul just like the others. As he begins to bend time and reshape the realms, Fire and Thunder God Liu Kang appears from the dawn of time, as all along he knew about his plan. This means he let his friends die, knowing Shang Tsung would be the only one powerful enough to take down Kronika. Now it's time for the final fight of Mortal Kombat 11. Being a subtle callback to the original Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang and Shang Tsung duel for the final time. Liu Kang finally wins, erasing Shang Tsung from existence and finally creates a new timeline in his new era. Within this brand new era, Liu Kang visits his ancestor Kung Lao the Great and recruit him as his champion. So that's where the story ends for now, until the 19th of September. That's hopefully today, unless the video's a little late, then maybe a few days ago. Mortal Kombat 1. Now things are being reset and I'm really looking forward to these changes. From Scorpion and Sub-Zero now being blood brothers, to Liu Kang now being a fucking fire and lightning god. Reptile was now finally able to show his full potential, as he's the only one in his race able to shapeshift. Whilst talking about races, a whole race has been replaced by a disease. The Tarkatans are no more. Tarkat is a disease which disfigures, debilitates, and will eventually turn those infected into bloodthirsty warriors. Katana and Mileena are actually sisters in this era, instead of a clone of one another. However, Mileena is infected with the Tarkat disease, giving her iconic look that we all know and love. Raiden and Kung Lao are now warrior farmer besties, working on a plantation together. What's going to go wrong first? Who will be the big bad? Let me know what you think down below. I'm so freaking hyped for this new game. I even spent my last pennies on this splurging on Premium Edition, as I can't wait to kick Homelander's ass with Omni-Man. Oh, and of course discover the new insane lore. Mortal Kombat 1 is changing up the fighting mechanics, introducing cameo appearances. I believe this is a much needed feature, and how they implement it sounds so incredible. Now being able to unleash the fiery power of the Thunder God whilst freezing your opponents is going to be so overpowered. Rebooting the series will bring brand new life and vitality into the franchise, and I just can't wait for the new story to be unveiled. So that's been Mortal Kombat's insane history. During this mad life cycle, we have lost many heroes and villains as we battled through the sands of time. This franchise has been home to some true powerhouses, and it wouldn't be fair if it didn't list off the great characters that we've all been blessed with throughout Mortal Kombat's reign of terror. My god, there's 77, and I'm going to list them off for you right now. Goro, Johnny Cage, Kano, Liu Kang, Raiden, Reptile, Scorpion, Shang Tsung, Sonya Blade and Sub-Zero were all found in the first Mortal Kombat game. The second Mortal Kombat game then introduced Baraka, Jade, Jax, Katana, Liu Kang, Mileena, Noob Saibot, Shao Kahn and Smoke. Mortal Kombat 3 introduced Chameleon, Cyrax, Ermac, Kabul, another Chameleon, Motoro, Nightwolf, Rain, Sector, Shiva, Sindel and Striker. Mortal Kombat Myth Sub-Zero game introduced Fujin, Quan Chi, Serena, Shinnok. Mortal Kombat 4 introduced Jarek, Kai, Meat, Raiko and Tanya. Mortal Kombat Special Forces introduced Tremor. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance introduced Blaze, Bo Rai Chow, Draman, Frost, Hutsuhao, Kenshi, Lee Mei, Movado, Mocap, Malok, Nitra. Mortal Kombat Deception introduced Ashura, Deiru, Darius, Havoc, Hotaru, Kira, Cobra, Onaga, and Shenku. Mortal Kombat Armageddon introduced Dagon and Taven. Mortal Kombat released in 2011 introduced Scarlet. Mortal Kombat X introduced Cassie Cage, Devora, Aaron Black, Farah/Tora, Jackie Briggs, Kotal Khan, Kung Jin, Takeda Takashi, and Triborg. Mortal Kombat 11 introduced Cetrion, Garrus, Collector and Chronica, as well as many other guest characters throughout the entire games, and wow, that was a bloody mouthful. Kinda regret doing it. Once again the lineup is being turned upside down within this latest installment, throwing all the rules out the window and turning things on their head with this new lore. But enough of the new game, now we're on to Secrets of Mortal Kombat. We all know I love myself an Easter egg. Well, Mortal Kombat continued to make gaming history with Reptile's debut in 1992. He was a hidden opponent, establishing him as the first secret character in fighting game history. Oh no, they didn't stop there. Knowing the fans had a taste for mystery in the form of an Easter egg, they stuffed Mortal Kombat 2 to the brim, now including 5 secret opponents: Shao Kahn, Kintaro, Jade, Smoke, and the legendary Noob Saibot, who's named after the co-creators Ed Boon and John Tobias, with their last names reversed. And then on top of it all, if you're able to complete the insane task of completing 250 games with the same character, you'll be transported into the world of Pong. Other crazy things is, I've heard when you boot up the SNES version, if you hold L and R, Shao Kahn and Kintaro will beat up the Acclaim logo. The first Mortal Kombat was such a success, it's even sold more than Lion King and Forrest Gump. Can you believe that? Throughout Mortal Kombat's lifetime, they've had so many spin-off games, with Tetris and Mario Kart style Mortal Kombat. They also had a chess version, and I can't wait to know what else they're gonna have. They love to listen to the fans, so make sure you get your messages out there, as I remember back in the day, fans always wanted animal fatalities, and they finally got animalities? Animalities? I don't know, however you say that. I found out watching interviews John Tobias' favourite character was Goro, and he had a friend to sculpt him in order to record his movements for the very first game. Ed Boon's his Scorpion, and he feels personally attached to him as he gave him his iconic line, and he even voiced it.
Get over here!
Personally, my favourite characters are Scorpion and Sub-Zero. What are your favourites? I'd love to hear it, let me know down below. There's so much more I can keep talking about here, however I don't want to bore you all half to death, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button, and whilst you're down there, let me know what your favourite game is in the series. Talking about series, if you're liking my new series, then please go check out my other What the Fuck Happened videos. It would really mean a lot to me. If my content is something that you like and want to show me some appreciation, then why not hit that subscribe button? It's free, and trust me, it really helps the channel out and gives me a personal boost when I see that sub count. I'm really loving my community and all the support that you give me. Thank you all so much. You have all been amazing, where I have been Elwood from Not So Serious Gaming. I hope you have a great morning, evening, night, whatever time it is. Hope you have a great one, and peace out.
The f was that?